Hey guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to the Dyslexic Reader. I feel just as horrible as yesterday, but thankfully no worse. So it could have been worse, and it's not, so that's something to be grateful for. We're finishing up our kind of colour series today. We're doing purple, our last colour. The cat's looking at me as if she really wants to attack me right now. Her eyes are super big, staring at me, and her tail's just flicking like this. But anyway, I'm going to show you some purple books that are on my TBR that I really want to read. I really want to just talk about them, and talking about it really builds up my enthusiasm. I'm hoping that I really get some motivation to start really reading this summer. I feel like normally in the summer I really read a lot more, obviously having more time off and things, but I feel like this summer that hasn't really happened yet. I know it's still early, but I really would like it to start happening soon. I think maybe my cold has something to do with it. So I'm hoping that talking to you guys about the books and you talking back to me about the books, if you've read them or if you like the sound of them, then hopefully I will get more motivation. It has been working so far. Your comments on the previous videos have definitely been building my motivation. So here are our purple books. Our first one is A Big Boy Did It and Ran Away. This is a mystery. Real Life Blows, Just Ask Raymond Ash. As students, he and his friend Simon thought their futures would be paved with gold discs, gigs and groupies. Instead, he found himself in his 30s, a nervous new father, an even more nervous new English teacher, facing the fact that responsibility has no escape key. The last thing on Ray's troubled mind is the band reunion. For one thing, theirs wasn't exactly an amicable split, but a slightly larger obstacle is that Simon has been dead for 3 years. So they're in a band. The band split wants to get together for a reunion even though one of the members is dead. So when Ray glimpses him walking through Glasgow airport, he assumes he's seeing things until real life starts getting weirder and more violent than any computer game. So they were friends as kids. He dies. We don't know how he dies. But he sees his friend alive apparently in an airport years after being killed. So I'm assuming that then he goes after him and starts finding secrets and different things. So that sounds kind of just right up my alley of some, and it's not too long that it would put you off, but it's long enough that you could really get your teeth in it and be reading it for a couple of days and really enjoy. The next one, I don't think it's going to turn up purple. Well, maybe it's really purpley in real life, all this sky and even the sea to some extent, but definitely the sky and the spine is really, really purpley in person, but looks kind of more blue. This is a really odd book. It's a paperback, but it's been laminated, but I can't tell if the person, because I bought it second hand, was it a library maybe that done this, or the person, or was it genuinely published this way, because it's not I slipped it on it. It's properly laminated. It looks like withdrawn from circulation. It was maybe a library book. I hadn't noticed that before, but I had heard this recommended on a booktuber channel and thought it sounded just weird and interesting and really enjoyable. It's called The Sieve Tools by Nancy Farmer. Jack was 11 when the berserker loomed out of the fog and nabbed him. The year is 739 AD. In the next month, Jack and his little sister Lucy are enslaved by Olaf Wombrow and his fierce young shipmate Thorgal, with a crew named Boldheart for a mysterious company. They are swept up into an adventurous quest in the spirit of the Lord of the Rings. Other threats include a willful mother dragon, a giant spider, a troll boar with a surprising personality, to say nothing of Ivor the Boneless and his wife, Crean Firth, a shape-shifting half-troll. Nancy Farmer has never told a richer, funnier tale, nor offered more timeless encouragement to young seekers than just say no to pillaging. So it seems to be kind of like a Viking ship, and this 11-year-old boy and his sister are kidnapped, which probably in real life would have been brutal, but I'm sure in this kid's book is quite fun, and they go on an adventure. And it's it is weird. It's a large print, but I don't think I've ever seen a large print children's book. Like, I've seen children's books with large print, obviously, for kids, but like this is printed in the format of like a large print adult book. You know the way you get the large print books, and they're like, they just are a different format than normal books. It's not like they've just been printed in larger text, and this kind of follows it, which is really weird. And then it's got this weird laminate, and so yeah, it's just a really odd one that I think just sounds really whimsical and fun. And again, I was talking about reading books at the caravan, at the seaside yesterday, and I think this would be a good one for the seaside too. And my last one is James Herbert, The Jonah. My brother is called Jonah, and that is literally the only reason why I picked this book up, but when I read the blurb it sounded interesting. The shadow of the past was always with him, but he never knew what it was or when it would strike next. Sent to a small coastal town to investigate drug smuggling, Kelso stumbles onto a dangerous organisation, and suddenly more than just his life is at stake. It's his past, his future, and his sanity. Through torture and drugs, he discovers a terrifying secret of the Jonah, and learns the most horrifying way that it can destroy him as well as others. And I have a funny feeling, because James Herbert's like everywhere. He's like one of those real supermarket authors. This is probably part of a series, but not one that you need to read in order. So it says like Kelso is sent to investigate this town. So I'm sure that's like a main character who runs through this book, and he's like a detective or something. But it doesn't sound like you would have to read all the other books to like enjoy this story. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure there are people out there who have read James Herbert in the past would be able to tell me if that is true. I hope it is true. I hope I don't have to go back and read, like, because there's just so many of these books. I'm old to understand this. But he goes to investigate drug smuggling, and something comes about, and it's just a thriller and a good time. So we have a kind of a mystery thriller with possibly a supernatural twist, a Viking fantasy adventure, and a book about a friend that we thought was dead that maybe isn't dead. So those are my purple books that are pretty high up in my TBR. Again, let me know if you have read any of these, if you intend to read any of these, if they sound good. And that is it. We're back to kind of normal videos tomorrow. I'll probably just do like a little tag or something. And that is the end of our rainbow series. I don't know if people liked it or not. I enjoyed doing it. I thought it was fun, and it was really good for me to like read these synopsises and get like really back into like being excited for the books on my shelves, because I've really fallen into just going to the library, getting 3 books, reading them, going back to the library, like returning those and getting another couple of books, and then reading them and then going, which is fine. I love the library. It's great. I would never intend to use a library less, if you know what I mean. But I did, not only did I pay for these books, not a lot because I bought them all secondhand in charity shops and stuff, but I did pay for these books because I had something had drawn me to them. I had picked them up and I had read the blurb and I had been really excited to read them, but they've just been put in the back burner because they don't have a return date. So I want to read them as much as any of the library books that I have, but I'm just like, well, I'll read this and just, you know, get it returned or whatever. And you don't have the luxury of like putting library books off and off, but with these I do, and I just need to really like kind of maybe get out of that mindset a wee bit. I was thinking for August I might try to like read exclusively my own books. I'm doing the Newt Readathon in August that runs the whole month. So to do a TBR from that, I can't really use library books anyway, because if I went to the library like a week before August to get books, like they would run out halfway through the month, and you could renew them, but you might not be able to if someone else requests them. So I was thinking that it would be good for a month-long readathon to have like all the books here and know that there was no like time to get them back, unless I can't fulfill a prompt, and then I'll go and get books from the library. So I'm hopefully for August going to read like exclusively books on my shelf, although I will miss the library diary, but I can always go there and browse and read and get other wee things, and we'll see. I'm also travelling at the end of August, so we'll have to see how that plays into things, but that is something to debate later. That'll be coming at the end of the month in our kind of videos a day. I'll wait until, I was going to say Booktubeathon, but the reading rush, oh, it's coming up, it's so close. I will wait until it is over. That's coming in, my TBR for that's coming in the next couple of days, but I will wait until the reading rush is over, and then I'll put my Newt TBR up, so that'll be up before the end of the month while we're still on our daily videos anyway, so you'll know before the end of the month how it's all going to pan out. Right, that's it for today. My throat is really starting to go, so I'm going to go and take a lem sip. I hope you're all happy, I hope you're all healthy, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow for another video. Goodbye.